The main issue with JJK's writing is that it is inconsistent with how it applies the rules of the world, especially with female characters. Their relationship to the plot is different. The male characters get to contribute to the plot, whereas the female characters have things taken away from them by the plot for the sake of world building or pushing the story forward. I'm going to talk about this in the context of Miwa and Binding Vows. Then we're going to rank her as support, sacrificed, or erased. Miwa is a minor character, so I don't really understand why the story sought out to punish her so hard, unless it was to show the severity of the Binding Vows, which would have been fine if literally any of the other Binding Vows were actually that severe. Let's first understand what Binding Vows are and why they're so terrible. Here's the thing. As a concept, they are pretty standard. However, Jujutsu Kaisen ends up executing this quite incorrectly because of the loophole that you see here. So in reality, in JJK, what this ends up being more so than anything else is a deus ex machina to solve problems within fights that the story didn't take time to develop techniques for, or any time that the story is written into a corner, the Binding Vow kind of resolves that for the story. That really cheapens the value of this entire thing because stakes and consequences matter. Stake and consequences is a very fundamental storytelling tool. It's basically a way to make the reader care emotionally about what you are telling them. This video is still about Miwa. I know, you've forgotten. The stakes were everybody is in trouble, but especially her friends were in trouble, right? The tensions rise, and this compelled Miwa to take action, which is pick a fight with Kenjaku, right? An attempt to resolve this tension. But the conflict was that Miwa is not strong enough to be taking on Kenjaku. What she did was make a binding vow to hopefully resolve this tension. And obviously she wasn't strong enough. Yeah, I get it. He's super strong, whatever. The thing that really confused me about Miwa is that her punishment is so severe, and it is one of the only ones that don't follow this like loophole or deus ex machina thing. So what I'm really wondering is like, literally what was the point of punishing Miwa so hard? Right? So many other people in the story benefited from the loophole version of this entire workflow. Maybe Gege just hated Gojo so much that he wanted to punish his one fangirl in the story. This is so disproportionately awful to Miwa that I just want to create a row that says personally victimized by Gege Akutami. And really, this is where Miwa belongs because this is some Regina George behavior from Gege.